Hi friends, Concy here from atop Serenity Hill, and I am back with the next day for Start With a Mark. I've had to start marking them off on my sheet because between doing them on Instagram and here on YouTube, I'm getting confused because I do multiples at the same time because I have to record all of them. So you don't have to. You can do one a day. It's absolutely fine. So we are up to day 5, Scribble, and as I've said in multiple videos, this is 14-day challenge in February, from the 1st to the 14th. We're doing it that day, those 14 days, because along the lines of falling in love or falling back in love with your creative practice. And it is with my friend and co-host, Shemi Dixon. And you will find information below on how to get printables to get you started on this. This is my printable, this little tag deck, which has a word for each one. Okay. So for Scribble, which I'm doing the tag deck over on Instagram, I scribbled with colored pencils and then made this crazy tree, and I just love it. So I ended up using the background as inspiration. So when you look at my cards, this one would have been this background here. And so I ended up using that background as inspiration to pull color into the rest of the card, the white part, and just, started with some scribbling and eventually ended up with this really fun background and started making lines with black and realized that they were kind of tree-like. So I went with it. And I keep wanting to emphasize the fact that these are not meant to be all end all. They can be. This could be an art journal page or a junk journal page or a tag journal page. But also just use them as inspiration or a starting point of what to do next, because not everything, like my clouds, is a be all end all, but it was a way of going, I haven't thought about gluing tissue paper down recently. Let me try that. Okay. When was the last time you grabbed your colored pencils or your crayons and just scribbled to see what would happen? All right. So today, here on YouTube, of course, I'm working in my little journal. If you would like to know how to make this, it is in the playlist below during the live session that I did. And it's gotten a little funkadelic because of the fact that during Cloud Day, I used texture paste, and so it's bulky, and that's going to happen. And so today we're working on Scribble, and I'm still going to be scribbling. What would I do to start a page? Where would I go with my blank journal? What would I do if I opened this and I was like, I don't know, what should I do? So I grabbed a Stabilo All pencil, which some of you might know about, some of you might not. I just only own the black. They do come in colors. It is meant for many surfaces, as you can see here, but what it is water soluble, and it has that really fun grungy feel to it. So I'm going to just scribble. When I run out of what do I do, I scribble flowers. I doodle flowers or mandalas. It's just, what I fall back on. And I don't beat myself up for falling back on the same thing over and over again, because eventually, I'll get another idea. But you need to start somewhere. So even if you're constantly starting back on the same theme over and over again, that's okay. That's okay. Embrace that, allow it. What does it bring up as you're doing it? Like, do these grungy flowers remind you of something? Do they, are you like, ooh, I'm really loving all the black. I'm not really feeling like color today. So maybe I'll embrace this and move forward and start painting something in just black and white today. So, what does it remind you of? Where does the flower remind you of something you just saw at a garden center or on a show or out in your yard or on a walk? So I like to play it almost like as the word game of, if I say apple, what do you say? If I say pie, what do you say? If I say red, what do you say? Like, what does it remind you of? So, kind of playing that word game with your memories and with your art supplies and seeing where it takes you. It could take you in a totally different, crazy way, or it could just be, well, it did nothing. This is very funny. I guess my water still has some gold sparkle gesso in it. I don't know if you can see it. No, it's not showing up on camera. But I'm dipping into water, I guess, that has some gold sparkles still in it, even though I rinsed it out. Not well enough, obviously. And now I have gold sparkles. And see, so that's something that I'm like, oh, there's gold sparkles on this. That's kind of fun. What if, do I have a gold? I think I do. Maybe. What if I have a gold paint pen, which I think I do, or at least a gold, I do. I have this bronze Sharpie marker. So what if I add some bronze Sharpie marker in? So this is one of those things where, like, you know, the accident of the gold gesso or whatever it is, sparkly paint that was sitting in my water inspired the fact that I'm like, but what if I was to grab some kind of sparkly pen and just kind of add to this? And I'm still scribbling. I'm still using the whole prompt of scribbling, but now I've just added the Sharpie pen. And this Sharpie pen is metallic, but it's not like glittery metallic. Okay, but you could keep going. Maybe you have some glitter sitting by your desk. Maybe you have some really sparkly metallic paints that you could dive into, or some metallic watercolor that you could continue to add. But it doesn't have to be anything other than what I just, what I just did. It feels unfinished. And so, that's also, just because the prompt started with scribble doesn't mean I can't add something. To me, it just needed a border to keep it within here. So it's not anything spectacular. It's not like the most amazing thing you've ever seen, and that's not the point. The point is that now if I was to flip through this looking for inspiration, I'd be like, oh, it might be really fun to add to this page I did. Maybe I can add some scribbly flowers on top of it as a finishing touch. So it's just a way of gathering inspiration during this 14-day challenge to get you started. Everything is a start point. How do you get over that blank page? How do you dive into your creative practice? How do you just do something fun to get your day started? It doesn't have to be anything more than starting with a mark, people. Start with a mark. All right. So we've done a little scribbling in my journal today. We will be back tomorrow with our next prompt, which is imprint. All right. We'll see you then.